Okay. Final thoughts. It is okay to think about the things that happened in the past, but it's not okay to be stuck there. You have to grow, you have to move, you have to live life. Life presses forward, not backwards. You cannot drive forward looking in your rearview mirror unless you plan on switching lanes. My recommendation would be to do what everybody on this panel has been suggesting. Find a way to face what's holding you back so that way you can move forward, because that is the only way you're going to be able to move forward in a productive manner. And that's really all I got to say about that.
I won't be able to say my rewind tonight. That's okay because I'm number two. But there's something that this may not sound like a strong stance, but I hope that it comes out well. Uh, there are people who have overcome much worse things than you think that you've done or that you've done. And so the same way that I look to my heroes or sheroes that have overcome things in life and overcome circumstances that they had no control over by managing and maintaining themselves, then my final thought is you can do it too. So do not allow yourself, and that's really what you're going to be doing if you can't overcome it. Don't allow yourself to be a victim to your former self. Push yourself through, and I know that you'll be better for it, because spaceships don't come with rearview mirrors. Move on, move forward.
I would say as my final thought this: if you're really struggling with your past, that means, and it's really affecting your present, so I ain't gonna say future, you haven't created it yet, then you need to go back there or find that what it is that you're not healed from. And if you cannot do it on your own, which you probably won't be able to do it on your own, because if it's been bothering you for this long, obviously you proved you can't do it on your own. There ain't no YouTube video or any family member that's close to you, because they're going to tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear, that's going to be real with you. Go and seek professional help, because you can't fix it. That's why you're in the turmoil that you're in. Okay? And when you build your life up to a certain point that you're happy, you know you've done the work to be happy. And now you're doing the work to stay happy and to progress further and bring more happiness into your life, and to the point where you're so happy you want to bring someone else into your life. Don't bring chaos. Don't tolerate chaos. You don't need it. It took you long enough to experience happy and to be happy, to find it. It's your best friend now. Don't disrupt that, right? I'm not saying life is going to be perfect and there's not going to be any problems, but it's got to be problems that you create, not problems that were brought into your life. Okay, you cannot fix anybody. All right, you cannot. You're not equipped for it. That person needs help, and if you know that person needs help, why you're entertaining their thoughts, right? You have to find somebody that's on your wavelength. Find somebody that's where you're at in life, and that's considered a fresh start, right? And if you get that fresh start, then your past is not going to bother you. I always tell everybody, why would you bring something of your past relationship into your present? Well, that means you ain't tired of that person yet. You haven't let go of that person yet. So you shouldn't be in the present one anyways. And have your boundaries, that if anybody mentions their ex to me, why are we having that conversation? Why are you here with me? It's like somebody pulling out their phone at dinner. Well, obviously they don't need you if they're looking at their phone, right? So it's best you just ask for the check and go about your business, because you ain't that important anyways. And the same way applies to life. Be stern on your beliefs. Have your standards and don't sway. You created that happiness for a reason. Some did it more extreme than others, like myself. But at the same time, I know 100% I'm bringing somebody into a happy life, a happy environment. I'm not saying it's going to stay that way, but I know that's where we're starting from. And if you know that's where you are in life, right? Don't bring anybody to disrupt that. Sometimes it's okay for somebody not to like you. You can't make everybody happy. And as a matter of fact, you don't want to make everybody happy, because then your phone never rings and you don't get work done. So again, once more, if you're still struggling with your past and your past still makes a difference, that's because you haven't healed from it. That's it.
I am a history buff. I love doing research and finding out what happened and what caused certain things. But I don't do it so that I can recreate what happened. I do it so that I won't allow it to happen again, so that I can move forward and be better than I am today. So if you have people that are trying to hold you to your past, the only way they can hold you to your past is if you yourself are holding on to some of those same behaviors. So before you move into a new relationship or move on with someone else, heal yourself. Find out where you went wrong, own your part, and heal yourself so that you can be the better for yourself, not just for somebody else. Because anything you do at this age should be for self-improvement. And anything that I improve in myself, it improves my surroundings. And my surroundings are my surrounding people and my circle. So heal yourself first, where you benefit not just from your past, but from your the growth of your past. Because anything buried, you shouldn't allow it to grow once it's dead.
All right. So, final thought on this is, we talked about being a slave to your past. You have to make sure that you're not bound to your past. You have to break the chain from your past. Nobody's going to come cut you free. Nobody's going to understand what freedom looks like for you. And by freedom, I mean the individual capacity to choose what peace looks like for you. Expectation management keeps you from being a slave to your past. You can't come in with a utopia and then be shocked when it doesn't work to other people's expectations, and you can't focus on chaining yourself to other people's expectations of you. Anything you give your energy to is an investment, good, bad, and different. So you get the outcomes that you've invested in. So if you're in a constant cycle, you're part of the recipe. If something keeps repeating itself, you're part of the recipe. Okay. You have to do something different to get something you've never had. You can't expect to do the same things over and over again in a cycle to accomplish a utopian outcome. Ultimately, the abuse you take, the level of subjugation you commit yourself to really defines what you think about your future. If you really think about where you are right now, the abuse that you're willing to endure, is it conducive to the goal that you've set for yourself? If you can say yes to that, then it's cool. Everybody's got their own goals. But being manipulated, being controlled, bound, imprisoned by somebody else's insecurities, and you submitting to that, that's not conducive to progress, success, or individual peace. So everything that you're giving your energy to right now is an investment in your version of peace that you can afford to contribute. They don't have anything to do with money, nothing else. It's about your effort in certain areas. Be mindful that in this journey in life, you're going to learn lessons from people that you treated better that never deserved it. So you have to find a way to forgive yourself first, because the person that you want forgiveness from or want an apology from, you don't even know what their outcome is going to be. They probably don't even have a plan, So you got to be mindful of who you're trying to get apologies from. You got to be mindful of who you demanding accountability from when you haven't demanded that same accountability for yourself. You can't claim to love yourself if you're not willing to protect yourself. So draw some boundaries, cut people off, do what you got to do to protect your peace, your intellectual freedom, and your dignity.